Dear students, in this class we will discuss the application of Pascal law. Application of Pascal law to solve the numerical problems or the physical problems. Okay, so in the last class or in the previous class we have derived the Pascal's law. The Pascal's law states that in a static fluid, the pressure distribution or the pressure intensity distribution remains same in all the directions. Okay, Pascal's law states that in a static mass of fluid, the pressure or pressure intensity varies equally in all the directions or acts equally in all the directions. So let us, that is based on that we have derived the pressure intensity in the x direction equal to pressure intensity in y direction and pressure intensity in the x direction, that is Px is equal to Py is equal to Ps. That is the pressure intensity acting in the x direction, y direction and s direction remains same, and this we have derived considering a triangular element having three faces. One face is normal to x-axis, one face is normal to y-axis, another force is normal to s-axis, marking the forces acting on each forces and satisfying the equilibrium equations. We have derived this Pascal's equation. Okay, now let us use this concept to solve the physical problem. So here let us consider a physical problem, a hydraulic ram or a hydraulic press. Okay, this is a ram. This is a ram. The diameter of this ram D is equal to 30 centimeter or it is 0.3 meter. Okay, and plunger, let us take a plunger having diameter small d, and this ram diameter is d. Small d is 4.5 centimeter or it is 0.045 meter. Okay, find the weight lifted by the ram. Weight lifted, that is W. W is the weight lifted by the, that is weight lifted by the ram. Okay, this is W, and this you have to find. If a force of 500 Newton, if a force of 500 Newton applied at the plunger, that is F is equal to 500 Newton. Okay, this is a physical problem. This is a hydraulic press having a plunger at one end and having a ram at the other end. Okay, and the space between the ram and plunger is filled with a fluid. This is filled with a fluid. Okay, filled with a fluid. Now the question is, if a force of F of magnitude 500 Newton applied at this plunger point, that is F applied at the plunger point, then because of this force the pressure is going to exert then on this fluid particles and it transmits equally in all the directions. Since this is the fixed boundary, the pressure is going to transmit in the x direction. Then again it is going to transmit, same pressure is going to transmit here. Same pressure is going to transmit at the bottom of the ramp. So now the question is, if I am applying 500 Newton force at the plunger, how much load is lifted, that is W by the ramp. So this is the question. Okay, now you first find the area of this plunger, area of plunger, let it be small a, it is 5 by 4 d square, or it is 5 by 4. What is the diameter of plunger? It is 4.5 centimeter, 0.045, so square. So therefore the area of plunger A is equal to, you just calculate this, it is 0.00159 meter square. Okay, now the pressure intensity exerted on plunger is equal to what? Is equal to force divided by area of plunger. What is the force applied at the plunger? It is 500 Newton. And what is the area of plunger is? It is 0.00159. So the pressure intensity P at the plunger is equal to 500 divided by 0.0015. So this you will get 3145.4 Newton. Okay, let it be equation 1. Okay, this is the pressure intensity exerted at the plunger, and this pressure intensity it transmits in the downward direction. Because this is the boundary which is fixed. Means any pressure, if it is transmitting in the horizontal direction, it will be resisted or it will be taken care by this boundary. So hence the pressure will be transmitted in the vertical direction. Okay, now same pressure it is transmits equally in all the direction, but here it acts in the downward direction, it acts in the horizontal, then again it acts, same pressure intensity is going to act at the ramp because this is the fixed boundary. Okay, so now pressure intensity at the ramp. Okay, so the area of ramp, first you calculate area of ramp is again 5 by 4 d square. Okay, so this is equal to 5 by 4, then diameter of ram is 0.3 square. So area of ram is 0.7068 meter square. Now the pressure intensity exerted at ram is equal to what? The force is W divided by area of the ram, 0.7068. So let it be equation 2. Now whatever pressure exerts at the plunger, it transmits equally up to the ram. So the pressure intensity at plunger is must be equal to pressure intensity at the ram. Okay, here it acts in the downward direction, here it acts in the upward direction. Now the question is what? The question is you have to calculate this W, weight lifted by the ram. So now equating equation 1 and 2, equating equation 1 and 2. So your W is equal to 31446.5 multiplied by 0.7068. Therefore, W is equal to so you are getting 2 Newton or 22.22 kilonewton. Okay. So when a force of 500 Newton is applied at the plunger, you can able to lift around 22,222 weight at the ram. So this is one application of the Pascal's law. Okay, so this is a jack. Hydraulic press means it is a jack. Here it is a plunger. Here it is a ram. Okay, and the space between this plunger and ram is filled with a fluid. Okay, it may be water or any fluid. Okay, so now if we are applying a load of 500 Newton, so what is the weight lifted at the ram? So the weight lifted at the ram is this. So this is the application how to solve the physical problem by using the Pascal's law. So this is the question is what here? A hydraulic press has a ram of 30 centimeter diameter and a plunger of 4.5 centimeter diameter. Find the weight lifted by the hydraulic press when the force applied at the plunger is 500 Newton. Okay. Now same problem. Now let us consider similar type of physical problem. Okay, similar type of physical problem. So in this physical problem, the hydraulic press, so let us consider the same hydraulic press. Ram diameter D. So ram diameter D is 20 centimeter. Okay. Then plunger diameter is 3 centimeter. Okay, this is 3 centimeter. The next is if it is used for lifting 30 kilonewton. If it is used for lifting of 30 kilonewton, find the force required at the plunger. So means when W is equal to 30 kilonewton, it is used for lifting of 30 kilonewton, find the force F. Okay, in the previous example F is given, so you have been asked to calculate W. In this problem W is given, you have to ask to calculate F. Okay, use the same thing, that is pressure intensity at ram, pressure intensity at ram. Okay, it is 30, that is force, divided by area of ram, it is 5 by 4, 0.02 square. Okay, this is the kilonewton, or Newton means 30,000. Okay, this is the pressure intensity. Okay, this is equation 1. Similarly, at the plunger, pressure intensity at plunger is equal to F divided by 5/4. Area of pressure is 3 centimeter, means it is 0.03 square. So this is equation 2. So equate equation 1 and 2, find F. Okay, find F. Okay, this is the next application. Now we have also derived the pressure variation equation, that is the differential equation, that is delta P by delta x equal to 0, delta P by delta y is equal to minus W, delta P by delta z is equal to z equal to 0. So this is the pressure variation, 3-dimensional pressure variation. When the fluid is under the static condition, the pressure variation. So the interpretation of these mathematical terms, that is delta P by delta x, means the variation of pressure intensity in the x direction. It means in the horizontal direction is 0. Then this is the variation of pressure in the y direction, means in the vertical direction it is minus W, and pressure intensity, variation of pressure intensity in the z direction is 0. So from this mathematical expressions, it is very clear that the pressure varies only in the y direction. Okay, so integrating this, we are getting P is equal to minus Wy or P is equal to Wy. So this we have derived in the plus C, that is integral constant. So apply using the boundary conditions. So ultimately we have derived this. This has been discussed in the earlier class. So you please go through that. So P is equal to Wy. Let us will see how to apply this to measure the pressure. To measure the pressure. Okay. So for that, let us consider a physical problem. Let us consider a physical problem, that is, calculate pressure intensity, for a fluid column, of 0.3 meter, fluid column of 0.3. If the fluid is water, and next is if fluid is a oil of specific gravity 0.8, then another one is oil or mercury of specific gravity 13.6. Okay, this is the fluid column. Fluid column means pressure head. Pressure head is 0.3. Okay, so what is this physical problem? So if you have a static mass of fluid, or you can consider a closed pipe, install a piezometer here, so to get this is the pressure head 0.3 meter. Okay, there are 3 cases to get this is the pressure measurement at this point. P is, consider a point, at that point the pressure intensity is P. So now you have to calculate the pressure P at this point for a column height of 0.3. Okay, so now you have P is equal to what? W into H. W into H. So that is H is the vertical distance. So instead of H you can take Y also. Okay, or it is the height of the column. Y is nothing but the height of column in glass tube. In a glass tube fixed at the point P. So the pressure intensity P is equal to the unit weight of water, it is rho into G into Y. So therefore pressure intensity at point P is equal to mass density is 1000 into 9.81 into 0.3 if fluid is water. Fluid is water, therefore P is equal to 0.2943 Newton per centimeter square, or it is 2943 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per meter square. Okay, this is if fluid is water in the inside the pipe. Then next is if the fluid inside the pipe is oil of specific gravity 0.8, then what is the pressure exerted for a column height of 0.3 meter. So let it be P1. So this is equal to W1Y. Y is constant for in all these three cases, that is the column height of 0.3. Okay, P1. Now it is rho 1 G Y. Okay, what is the rho 1? It is the mass density of oil, whose specific gravity is 0.8. So therefore P1 is equal to unit weight or mass density of oil is equal to unit weight of water, that is 1000. Mass density of water 1000. Then the specific gravity of oil is 0.8, then 9.81 into 0.3. Therefore, the pressure intensity at point P is 0.2354 Newton per centimeter square, or it is 0.2354 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per meter square. If instead of oil, if the fluid is used mercury, then the pressure intensity P2 is equal to mass density of water, specific gravity of that fluid, that is 13.6, 9.81 into column height 0.3. Okay. So here it were getting the .0025 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per meter square. 25 Newton. So you and observe all these three values. That is, this is equation 1, This is the equation 2. It is the equation 3. For a same column of height 0.3 meter or pressure head of 0.3 meter, if I am using water, the pressure intensity is at point P is 0.2943 into 10 raised to 4. Okay. If there is a oil of specific gravity 0.8, then the pressure intensity is 0.2354 into 10 raised to 4. Okay. Then P2 is, if mercury is used, then the pressure intensity at 0.4 is 4.0025. Okay. So this is the concept, that is how to measure the pressure intensity inside the pipes by using the manometers, by using the different fluids. Okay, this basic fundamental equations we are using. Okay, so now let us consider this, that is here P is equal to P1, this is equal to P2. What is P? P is Wy. Then P1 is what? W1y. P2 is what? W2y. This is the unit weight of water, Wy, column height, and this is equal to P1 is equal to W1y, okay, W2y. If the pressure intensity is same, pressure intensity is same. If the pressure intensity is same, then okay, this we will discuss in the next class because the time is over. Now it is not sufficient. There is a sufficient time to discuss that concept. So in the next class we will discuss how to measure the fluid pressure by using the manometers. So there are different types of manometers: a simple manometer, inverted manometer, U-shape manometer, and the inclined manometer. So another 1 or 2 classes we will discuss on unit 1. Then we will upload all the notes and the numerical problems. So please go through that. Okay, in the next 2 classes we will discuss how to measure the fluid pressure by using the manometers. Okay, thank you.